Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ollie Rodriguez-Dom, and today is an exciting one because there's a certain vinyl that has arrived that I'm very happy to add to the collection at long last. And it is right here in this box. And in my opinion, usually I tend to like stack up these hauls and like give you several records in one, but I think this one's special enough to make its own video out of. If you're brand new to the channel, by the way, if you love hip hop and you love vinyl collecting, you're in the right place. Make sure to press the subscribe button because that's the sort of stuff I talk about here. I think it's time we get into this box and show you exactly what we have ordered. And whilst I am at it, I just want to say, doesn't it feel so nice to order something like not even a week ago and to have it suddenly arrive a few days later? Like, it's nice, isn't it? So, if we open it up, we can find ourselves with Jay Z and Kanye West, Watch the Throne, picture discs on vinyl, and I didn't think I would ever have this in the collection. At the very least, I didn't think I'd have it for the price I managed to find this at, and I'm sure a lot of you who recently got the drop are feeling the same. So if you're unaware, what basically ended up happening was Def Jam, they're clearly on a bit of a run of just kind of like trying to get more people interested in buying their records, basically doing a lot of re-releases, and I don't think this was part of that whole program they're doing, but just out of nowhere, they just decided to drop repressings of Watch the Throne. And not only that, it was also only $50, which if you've been a fan of Watch the Throne / just rap and hip hop and collecting vinyl records, you know this can go for about 150 kind of at a minimum. Now when you add in the sort of shipping price and everything like that for the UK anyway, it came to more like 60-70 quid, but that's still pretty much a steal when it comes to this, brand new and sealed as well. And whilst it is very tempting to keep it sealed, we're making a YouTube video here. You guys are going to want to have a look, so then that way you can kind of get a little bit of a sneak peek, and if you want to keep yours sealed, you can just look at this one. Yeah, it's such an incredible project that I think we just had to have it in the collection. It's pretty much a flawless project that is a massive one when it comes to the culture of hip hop and rap. Now we are going to have to take a look at this at a different angle because it opens up quite insanely, and yeah, so I mean, first things first, I'm actually really loving the chrome, but let's take another look at this. Okay, so here it is just by itself. So we're going for a bit of POV here, but we flip open one way, you then get the American flag on one. Flip it up down another, you then also get an angel. Pick it up to the left side, you then get Jay Z with a bit of a kind of like tiger mouth going on. And then flip it up to the right, you also get Kanye with the same sort of look there too. So you can see how big this thing actually is and just like how much space it takes up, and you can tell why I can't really show it all on screen in one stack shot. But gotta say, one of the things I'm really loving about it is just like the sort of like chrome effect it's got going on with the gold and like how it sort of reflects and everything, because it just kind of like really helps build in the vibe of the actual album, because obviously it's very flashy and about showing off and just basically quite a wealthy type of album. So it just kind of like adds into that whole like gold sort of effect to it, which I really love to see from it. But it's quite a crazy one to look at, and just like the artwork from it is really quite cool. And then on top of it, the fact you've got like all the extra sides to it, which also is still within that kind of like chrome effect going on, it's insane. And bringing it back to the video properly, like, I don't really know how I'm supposed to show this to you. So I think from the way I can kind of read it, there are still just two LPs, which are kept on the left and right side, obviously. The first layer, which is just the American flag, that's basically the front cover of it all. If you then pull it down, you then get the angel side. And that side comes with a bunch of like inserts and whatnot, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. But then when you open it up, that's when you get both of the records. So whilst I sort of just showcase everything, I am gonna just like put that to the side. But if we take a look at the, I'm guessing this will be actually the second LP. But you then have one picture disc, which has Kanye again, just with the sort of like tiger face going on. Which I'm not gonna lie, I will be completely real, like I'm not gonna like gas this up too much, just because like it's kind of a bit of a weird sort of photoshopped photo, I'm sure. Like I do kind of get this sort of vibe they're going for with like the words they say are like ferocious, like a tiger kind of thing. And it's not really the sort of like hardest thing, and especially if I look on this side, it's like if you take a careful look at it, it is quite pixelated and not actually like the highest quality you would expect, but nonetheless it is still cool that they got the picture disc versions of these. So there's the Kanye one, and if we now take a look, I can show you the Jay Z one, which you then have right there. And I think out of the two, I think the Jay Z one might actually work a bit better in my opinion, but yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but it is still pretty cool. So those are the 2 LPs that we've got within this drop, but there is a whole nother side to it, which comes with this whole little insert, which isn't looking so little so much, which, okay, is that what it is? Yeah, it is. Oh, that is so sick. Right, hopefully I can fit this on screen for you guys, but if you take a good look at that, you can see this is actually what the front cover looks like when it's not just all gold. This is what the front cover of Watch the Throne actually looks like in full color, which is really insane to see. I've never actually seen that version of it, which is really cool. If we then flip it around, you basically then get all the credits with all the songs and everything like that, so what you typically expect, but that is actually a really cool insert in there. And I mean, probably like the best 2 songs off this are Fellas in Paris. I am not permitted to say the word that it actually says, but you've got that one. Otis as well is probably the other one that's like fully up there. If you ask me for some other favorites, like obviously the whole thing is like solid front to back, but I mean, No Church in the Wild, you can't get away from how good that song is. I actually quite like Made in America, and Gotta Have It is actually probably one of my favorites in there too. So yeah, that's a really slick, nice insert there that is absolutely sick to have in there. So this is Watch the Throne on vinyl, and I won't lie, only critique of it, it's quite a hard one to just get into if you're trying to just like pull the records out of this. It's not the simplest to get, but it's worth it at the end of the day. The only bit I do need to figure out though is, do I even have any packaging big enough to put this in so that I can put this hype sticker on it? That's the only bit I am missing. But no, this was absolutely crazy to get. It basically sold out in, I think it took a minute for people to realize it was like available, but as soon as people figured it out, it was kind of gone at least within the hour, I must say. Like, I think they did like a quick restock or just like kind of added more to the number of pressings they were doing, but this was quite an insane drop in the vinyl community. I mean, as I mentioned, like this can kind of go for about 150. If you remember my Brighton haul video, I basically mentioned how the store I really like, Cult Hero Records, I mentioned how they have Watch the Throne and they clearly got it. I think there was like another like really small restock like early spring somewhere around then, and I think they were able to get it through that drop, and they still had it on the shelf behind the counter for about 120. So to then see this like drop is quite insane, especially for only $50. Just to note, it is sold out now, so good luck trying to find it now. I'm imagining it might mean that the price may have jumped back down a little bit, so now might still be the time to get it. I would have to check that though, so don't fully take my word for that. This one is kind of a must-have for any hip-hop collector, because genuinely this is like one of those albums that is like a real standout when it comes to talking about rap and hip-hop, and it's a bit of a shame to see where Kanye's sort of gone at the moment, and particularly when you go back into his old like catalog, like you can listen to everything and you can love it, but you just, like, if you would ask anyone back then, like, yeah, he was crazy and said stuff that was very out of pocket, but you cannot fathom to see the downfall he has had now, especially if you ask someone back then. And I've got to say, like, whilst we do get good musical projects, I don't feel like we get enough of just like these random collaboration projects like this that really just stand out in rap. Like, I genuinely feel like probably the closest we could have probably come to something like this would have been something like Kendrick and Cole doing a full collab album, but we've never gotten that. I doubt that's even going to be a thing now. I mean, feel free in the comments to like call me out if like there's anyone I'm like missing off the top of my head, but I don't feel like we've had a project like this in a long time, particularly from just like two all-stars who I could say were in their peak / prime. Granted, Jay Z was kind of like bringing it down a bit, but Kanye was definitely in his peak. But it's like we don't really have those like two mega superstars of rap who just like randomly collab to like create a project much like this. And for that reason, that's why this is like a piece of hip-hop history that is really worth grabbing on vinyl if you are able to. And that was the video. I just want to make this quick one. It's a great one to have. Hopefully I've been able to upload this pretty quick and it's a bit of a bonus video for the week. But yeah, this arrived literally today and I just had to open it and show you guys it. Let me know if you were lucky enough to actually be able to get one and what you thought of it now it's arrived, if it has, that is. As well as some of your thoughts on the project itself. I'd love to hear about it. And anyway, I'll leave the video there. Don't forget to subscribe. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. And anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much, guys. I've been Rodriguez Stallman. Don't forget, it's never too late until it's too late, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care.